Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We just had another hearing, and the trial starts on Monday, which is long before a lot of people thought. The judge wants us to go as fast as possible. That's for his reasons, not for my reasons.
And folks, that is another clip of Donald Trump yet again complaining about the fact that he is going on trial in just a few days. Today we have a lot of news to break down, and the biggest news is the fact that Donald Trump's trial is moving at lightning speed, and there is very little that Trump can do to stop it. We have now finished jury selection in the case of the people of the state of New York versus Donald J. Trump. 12 jurors were selected, 6 alternates were also selected, and jury selection has concluded. And according to Judge Merchan, opening statements are beginning on Monday morning. Now, here's what you should expect next. Monday morning, you're going to have opening statements for several hours from both sides. You're then going to have the first witness likely take the stand right after lunch, early Monday afternoon. Now, because of the Passover holiday, the court will conclude hearings at 2 p.m. on Monday and on Tuesday of next week, and then the court will not hold trial on Wednesday. So the first full trial day is going to be on Thursday of next week. A lot of big bombshell witnesses are going to be taking the witness stand, anyone from Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's former personal attorney, who played a key role in the hush money payments to Stormy Daniels. Also, Stormy Daniels herself is expected to testify about receiving the payments. Hope Hicks, one of Donald Trump's top personal confidants, is also expected to testify at some point during the trial. As you know, Donald Trump is facing 34 felony charges related to falsifying business records in the first degree, which is a felony in New York, punishable by up to 5 years in New York State prison. Now, a lot of folks have asked me, is Donald Trump going to go to jail? Is he going to go to prison? And the short answer from this case is likely not. In New York, Donald Trump is a first-time offender. This is a non-violent offense, and it's more likely than not that if he were to be convicted of even one or all of the charges, that he would face some type of probation sentence that may include community service. Now, this isn't the only big news for Trump today. On the Hill, Congressman Benny Thompson, who was the former chairman of the January 6th Select Committee, introduced a piece of legislation that would bar Secret Service detail protection to any individual entitled to it and any individual who has been convicted of a crime punishable by up to at least 1 year in prison. According to the new bill filed by former Chairman Thompson, if Donald Trump were to be convicted of these felony charges in New York City, after he is sentenced, he would theoretically lose Secret Service protection. Now, like all things in Washington, D.C., this is going to go through a rigorous process through the House of Representatives. If it ever gets out of committee, it'll go to the full House and then likely to the Senate and then to the president's desk. But it is a pure long shot that this piece of legislation will pass. But hey, it has been introduced, especially by the chairman of the January 6th committee, no less. Now, the other news on Capitol Hill is the fact that Congress is moving very close to passing a massive foreign aid package for Israel, Taiwan, and Ukraine. Today, the House of Representatives, in a full floor vote, voted to essentially establish the rule for what is expected to be a round of voting tomorrow. The rule passed by an overwhelming majority, with about 50 Republicans voting against and about 40 Democrats voting against. The exact tally is online. But the bill is really 4 parts. The first part is an aid bill to Israel. The second part is an aid bill to Ukraine. And the third part is an aid bill to Taiwan. And the final part is kind of a hodgepodge mix of Republican priorities. These include allowing the United States government to sell seized Russian assets from Russian oligarchs. Another big part of it is a TikTok ban. This ban is very similar to the ban that was passed earlier last month, which would require TikTok to divest from its parent company, ByteDance. Now, unlike the bill from last month, this new piece of legislation would require divestment to occur within 1 year of the bill's signage. A lot of folks have asked me what is realistic here, and realistically, You would see the House of Representatives pass this legislation tomorrow, the Senate soon after. President Biden would likely sign it almost immediately, and then that 1 year clock would begin. But there will be significant legal challenges over the TikTok ban bill due to First Amendment concerns. Some folks have said that it is a bill of attainder, meaning that it is a piece of legislation enacted to go after a specific person or entity, in this case, TikTok. It's going to have a lot of legal challenges in court, and more likely than not, we're not going to see a resolution until at least the summer of next year. And that means in the interim, TikTok is alive and well. TikTok will be around and folks will be able to continue posting. But it will also be able to negotiate to potentially divest from its parent company, ByteDance, although the TikTok CEO has said that the company is not looking to divest from ByteDance right now. So it's unclear whether that will actually happen. Now, overseas, late last night, we had a major breaking news story, which was that Israel actually struck back against Iran for the first time in history. If you recall, Iran struck Israel, crossing a red line where the two countries had never struck each other on each other's soil. They had used proxies or struck the other's proxy in the Middle East. But last week, Iran struck Israel with over 300 drones and missiles, and Israel's response was last night. It was a very limited response. They targeted an Air Force base in the town of Isfahan in central Iran, and for a period of time, all flights were canceled and or suspended from various airports in Iran, including in the capital in Tehran. Now, interestingly, this response from Israel coincided with the birthday of Iran's supreme leader, and there were many folks poking fun at that on the internet, including the Israel War Room, which you can see here. Now, both Iran and Israel have gone radio silent since the attacks. Iran has been trying to say that no attack occurred and that any attack, any drone was shot down pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Israel has not confirmed its participation in the attack and has, according to reports, told its embassies to go radio silent. So it looks like this could be the end of the shooting match between Israel and Iran, at least for now. Folks, this is all the news you need to know over the past 24 hours. As always, if you like my work, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and as always, stay tuned for all the news you need to know about.